Salutations, travelers of the universe, and welcome to Imperial March Podcast. I'm your very loud announcer, Rocky, along with Seismic.
Hi.
And Bryce. Bryce!
Hello. Hello.
Right there.
I am not dead, people.
Fine. Alright. Today we will be talking about a favorite...
And no background noise this time!
Yay! Alright, today we will be talking about a favorite topic of ours, and well, kind of controversial. But in the most part, this is merely our opinion, so, you better listen to them. So, the topic today is the Republic Commando book series by Karen Travis, and why we all love them so much. So, Republic Commando. Should we tell the audience what they're about first?
Yeah, probably.
So, Alright, so in a galaxy far, far away and all that, a little while before the Clone Wars, there's like a group of Republic Commandos being trained. And these guys are put into some of the most awful and terrifying training exercises, which is all created by the Commando.
Not the Clone Wars training exercises where it's stun blasts.
Yeah, it's
you get hurt, you get killed, you're dead.
Yeah, by the
Pulling
Commando
the
cloners. And don't forget, in this book series, are very much like the movie, kind of cold and thinking the clones as more of droids than men. I mean, come on, anyone who makes their living cloning people for corrupt bureaucracies seriously don't have that much of moral value. So.
Yeah, it's just a product.
I know, so you can't tell me that they care that much about the clones if they're actually making them. So, so this guy comes along named Cal Skirata. He is hired by Jango Fett to train these guys and
with all the other Mandalorians.
Yeah, lots of other Mandalorians were hired. And gets a group of Republic Commandos / Gnolls, the crazy ones.
He rescues the Gnollarks from execution because they failed something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were going to get shot. And these clones are different, and despite the harsh vibe they give off, are really kind of, as she describes in the books, just children inside. And he realizes that they were born to die in combat because, live fire training and all that stuff. So they're like 5 years old, but they have the body of like 15-year-olds, that kind of thing, In the book series, I think they like have the body of 5-year-olds, but they're only like 1-year-old. It's weird. So he takes it upon himself to find a way to free them. Throughout the book series, there are two main clone squads, mainly Omega Squad, which consists of Darman, Niner, Atten, and Phi. And am I missing anyone? Oh yeah, and later on, Core comes on too, after he replaces Phi later on. There's also Delta Squad, which is Boss, Scorch, Fixer, and Sev.
And you guys should all know those four.
Yeah, but Omega Squad is the one this book focuses on. But the main thing is Omega. Now, Omega is different because they are all survivors from their last squads. Like, each of them had a squad in there, the survivor, because the other three got killed on Geonosis. And they form a ragtag team, which ends up drawing them closer together. So, they have an adventure in the book Hard Contact where they try and kill an evil Mandalorian whose name I forget, but try and kill an
They're also going after a scientist who's developing a toxin that kills like only clone troopers or something like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I forget her name too. I'm such an idiot. All right. Who thinks
something I don't know.
Who thinks the Mandalorian obviously thinks the best way to free clones is to, kill them. He's smart. But there's another aspect to this, which is Jedi General Eaton Mukin. I don't know how to pronounce her first name.
I think it's Atan. I don't know.
Atan. All right, I'll just call her Atan for the rest of the episode. She is a Jedi who got lost on the same planet Omega was deployed long before the Clone Wars started. Her master was killed, and she's on the run from this evil Mandalorian who wants to kill her, obviously, because he hates Jedi. Eventually, she meets Darman, and he tells her that the war has started and of course they fall in love, Now, while this all goes on through the books, Darman ends up having a kid with Eaton, whatever, but he doesn't. She's eating stuff for it. But he doesn't find out till Order 66 when, spoiler alert, Bryce, when she dies.
I've read the first book. I just don't have the others.
When Atan dies by trying to save a clone from a Jedi. Now that is something different, you know. You never see Jedi do that. Seriously, when is the first time that you would ever see a Jedi actually give their life to save a clone?
Seriously.
I
He's
know.
like, I'm not gonna jump in front of Grievous.
I know.
Just let the clone die. That's what
She
they
jumps in
usually
front of a
think.
Jedi from killing a clone, even though it is after Order 66 and all that. She still saves his life, which I think is cool because it's finally a Jedi who saves a clone with her life, you know, not trying to have him like, here, shield me. Now, in the books, all the clones go to Mandalore where they live happily ever after with Cal, who forms a home and a place for deserting clones to have lives, basically. But
Well,
in Imperial Commando, Darmin and Niner are still in the army and trying to survive.
we
So,
don't really know if they live happily ever after because George
yeah,
Lucas fired her.
I know.
Because it's not. I don't like it. It points out my bad script writing.
But yeah, I think that the book series is great. It's probably my favorite Star Wars book series, I think. I don't read that many
Yeah,
Star Wars novels, but this is my
me
favorite.
neither.
Um,
Because it's like the only one that's not like, oh, Jedi, let's go
yeah,
roam through the galaxy with our lightsabers.
let's have an adventure. All right. We should have.
I need to read those. I need to buy the other
Yeah.
ones.
All right. That's what I
They're like $5, right?
like 6, 10, I think. I don't know. Paperback. I don't know.
Jeez.
Um, I believe that the book series took the galaxy from another aspect. I mean, one less general. See, in the movies and the books and the comics, Jedi are almost always portrayed as these perfect
It's always from
peacekeepers
their
and
point of view,
I know, and so they're always the
right?
perfect peacekeepers and such. But in this book series, it takes it from a clone's mind and really the citizen's mind. The Jedi are corrupt, the Order, anyways. They are corrupt
Yeah.
enough to actually take a cloned slave army and give them 0 lives, force them to work without pay, without hopes of gaining a family or a social status. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, basically, is a way of putting it. And for
It's
the
basically the Jedi Council. It's not like all of
yeah,
them. It's mainly the ones up top, which I think was kind of touched on in the final episodes of the Clone Wars too,
yeah,
actually.
and for the most part, the Jedi just let them join. It's like, okay, slave army, go ahead, come on. I don't care if the former master ordered them. They should have been a lot wiser for that. You know, Yoda, come on, man. Whatever happened to like every life, no killing type thing? No, no. I mean,
Well,
also, they were part of a corrupt government and were hypocrites because they wanted to keep the peace, but also became freaking generals at war. So,
yeah.
also the war was caused half by them. Sure, the Sith wanted the Republic, but their main goal was to kill the Jedi. So is Cal
And the Jedi's
Scrata.
main goal is to kill them, so it's like
Yeah,
the same thing. Come on. But that's the thing I like about these books is they point out that the
hmm
galaxy is always at war because the
hmm
Jedi and Sith can't get along.
I know.
It's like there's never been a war because the
hmm
citizens didn't like each other.
I know.
Everyone gets along fine. It's just the Jedi and Sith. So
I
it's
know.
like if you just get rid of them, the galaxy would be a
That
perfectly fine place.
that's what Cal Scrata says. He says they should
Yeah, I
just go
know.
to a
That's like my
planet.
favorite line.
Yeah, he says they should just go to a planet and hash it out and kill each other.
Seriously,
Seriously,
it's like
just leave them on a planet, and then they stay there, and whoever lives, you know, wins.
that's what I like about these books. She like finds things inside this galaxy and points them out.
I know,
It's like,
obvious thing is that so many of the fanboys and stuff are always like, no, they're awesome, you
and that's why
know.
George Lucas fired her. He's like, dang
Um,
it, butthole.
yeah. Now, this is all just from the book. So please, to all of you who support Jedi, we do too. You know, we like Luke Skywalker, you know.
We do.
I do. And but I like the change, you know? Point out all the
Yeah,
stuff. And
I like the point of
so
view.
what do you think, Bryce? Bryce?
Hi. I'm sorry, I had my microphone muted for a second.
Alright. What do you think of the I hear win. All right. That sounded weird. That. What do you think of the book series, Bryce? What's your opinion on this matter?
I do like them because they have clones as the main characters, especially commandos.
Yeah. We don't just like them
It,
for the gear, people. They have good characters.
and I don't need to buy the other ones. I've only read the first one. Don't judge me, people. Especially you two.
We're judging you already.
I like the first one the most, so
Yeah, me too. Anyways, the book series is see, a lot of people always get mistaken. Oh, you just like Commandos because of the gear. You just like because of the armor. And yes, the armor is awesome. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that the armor is great. It makes like the regular clone troopers and stormtroopers look like antiques. you know, but they also have great characters like Darman. He's a guy who feels responsible because his squad was killed and he was supposed to hang back and he could have gone forward and he should have died with them. So he's torn about that. Niner's the sergeant who's trying to bring them together to be able to do the missions. Phi's the one who lost his whole squad too, but he's the comedy trying to keep cracking the jokes to keep them, not in terror. And then like Athens,
So,
the one who is, and then Athens is the guy who like demolitions expert, kind of like Scorch, but is very kind of dark and moody, but he gets the job done.
Darwin's the demolition expert.
Oh yeah, blech.
wait, so from what I've heard is that, Scorch actually, um,
He's in the books.
yeah, but he has, but he has a funny personality, but inside he is thinking like some darker thoughts
Yeah, if you
than what
read,
he
I
actually
think it
says.
was Order 66. That's the book. He kind of loses
Yeah.
it because they attack the separatists, and not separatists, but like separatist sympathizers attack the main base and have like an explosion inside of it, and it kills a bunch of clones who thought they were safe, and so he gets furious and he goes and he basically just goes total rage mode and lines them all up and shoots them all repeatedly.
Who? The,
Scorch.
he shoots the Jedi?
No. Separatist sympathizers, just like citizens that are on the separatist side, inside like the city, and they send a rocket and it blows up like the mess hall and it kills a bunch of guys and he barely survives. Then he gets on his armor and he goes and he kills them all, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good.
Yeah, he kind of
But
loses it. That's why Order 66 happened and they all kind of abandoned because they were all starting to go a little insane from the war.
that's true. It's like at this point I've killed enough people as who cares if it's my best friend.
I know. Um, that leads me to something, well, maybe it doesn't, but that leads me to something I'd just like to say. A lot of people ask, why do you like Cal Scrata so much? Because I'm a big Cal Scrata fan. I like him. It's a good question. So for all those,
Scorch like goes, sorry, I'm totally behind in all this. Don't judge me.
judging you.
Um, shut up, Rocky. Anyway,
Yeah, go ahead.
um,
hmm
so Scorch like goes rage mode and he like totally kills every Jedi he can
No.
see, right?
Not Jedi.
Oh,
Not Jedi. Separatist sympathizers, like, citizens that are, like, Coruscant citizens, or not in Coruscant, but just like citizens from the city who are on the side of the Separatists. Just like that opening arc, not opening, but like the stupid arc in season 5 with the rebels on Ondalore, I don't know.
Onderon.
Onderon.
Ondalore.
Ondalore.
on
Yeah, we're from Ondalore. Yeah.
Actually could be a planet. Anyways, no, just like them, except instead of being rebels for the Republic, they're rebels for the Separatists type of thing. So he basically goes out and shoots them all. So
Wow.
it's, he lost
Imagine
it.
what Scorch and Fixer were trying to make him do. Or
Well,
did he?
Scorch just runs into the building, grabs all the Separatist sympathizers at gunpoint, lines them all up in a row, and basically just blasts them all a million times with his blaster in the street.
He did his job. That's what
Yeah,
he wanted to do.
you're not going to stun them. If there's no
He
order
does
from command to keep them in for questioning and that kind of stuff, then it's kind of his job. It's war, people.
if the Seppies didn't have droids, that's what he'd be doing. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I know. So what I wanted to say is just why do I like Calsgrata? In a nutshell, do you like Scarata, Seismic?
he's cool.
Bryce, do you remember who Calsgrata is?
Yeah, he's like, isn't he like the Mandalorian
Yeah.
bounty hunter?
Alright, so in a
Yeah,
nutshell, he's...
like, give me a badge now.
Okay, fine. Imaginary badge.
Ding.
Ding. Alright.
You got two.
Yeah, you got two badges. Alright, so in a nutshell, he's a guy who just like wants one thing, lots of credits and a place to call home, that kind of thing. Like very, normal. But he also has his moral side, which is only for his sons, which are the clones. He adopts them all. Off on his own time and his own dime, he takes them in, creates an elaborate escape plan, builds them a mansion on Mandalore to live on, practically introduces them to every one of the wives they have, feeds them, gives them jobs, and tries to get as many clones he can from the Republic/Empire before they are blasted in combat for, a stupid cause. But don't forget, he's also a killer. I mean, he will shoot a guy in the face if he just, winks at him. See, for those of you who don't know, before he was kind to his adopted clones, he was a Mandalorian warrior who killed for a living. Just like Django.
He was a true Mandalorian, so they were not like the Death Watch, where they just killed innocent people. But
he was very dark and kind of like a bad guy. But then he met the clones, went soft, got morals, and kind of changed for them. But however, he still has his killer side, which makes him wickedly awesome, in my opinion. Somebody's words for the win. And I like him because he has two sides. One side he's very soft and he'll do anything. He'll cry. He loves his sons, the clones, And then on the other side, he'll kill so fast, So he's double-sided. He's almost a hypocrite, but at the same time, how can you not like this guy? He's just he has a hatred for Jedi, a love for soldiers, and is really, I think, the true Mandalorian type guy. I don't care what you say. He is a real Mandalorian because none of that pre-Vizsla Death Watch crap. This guy is a hardcore, old-school Mandalorian.
yes.
My rant is done.
Yeah.
Vote for president.
Yeah. Cal Sagrada for president. He's a lot better. He's a lot better than Palps.
Cal Sagrada for emperor.
Yeah. Emperor Scarata. Also, don't hate on Karen Travis for not finishing the series. That wasn't her. Rumor was that she was stopped by Lucasfilm, because being the conspiracy theorists we are, they thought it was ripping too hard on Jedi, so.
Oh no. Our poor Jedi are getting shown out.
I know.
The truth is coming out. We have to ban her.
I know. She was great.
I can't even finish it.
I know, and they also had such a huge following. The Mandalorian mercs, them. That was like the Mandalorian mercenary club Bible. Seriously.
They got rid of her, then the Clone Wars tried to override everything she did with Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
why do you care that much about it? What is the big deal with it? Why don't you like what she said?
I don't understand why everybody's so obsessed with keeping the Jedi point of view the only point of view.
I know. They're not the only point of view. It's a whole galaxy out there. And clones, clones are such a key part because they're stormtroopers, half of them, and clone troopers, they started it all. They're really the cause of everything. So why not go from their point of view once in a while? Come on. And Rex and the other clones, sure, in the Clone Wars we get great story arcs and stuff, but that's very generic, you know?
We
It's
got
like,
like
he's a
four or
clone
five.
soldier, he'll never betray.
Yeah,
But in these books, they actually are betraying. They have individual thoughts.
but they don't betray to the rebellion.
Yeah,
It's
they don't.
like they don't just go to another side. That's what the
Yeah.
Jedi, because the Jedi are there.
hmm
It's like they go on their own path, because
Yeah.
why would you want to serve the Jedi? I
They
mean,
really just want to be free, you know? They want to be able to have their own life type thing.
yeah,
And so, like, it's so unfair that we never got to see this end because it's such a cliffhanger ending, you know? You with
yeah.
Darman and everything going to try and get back to his son. And it's really just, it leaves you on so much of an edge, and then you get so mad because you'll know it's never going to be finished. Unless you can try and get Karen Travis to tell you what she planned, so.
Well, maybe Disney hire her, but I don't think so. They're too focused on their new trilogy now to even consider the Clone Wars again.
I know. So,
But
it's now up
one
to
thing.
you, the fan fiction writers,
Oh, jeez.
and the stop motionists.
One thing that I like, another thing I like about these books is it's finally bringing like wars to Star Wars.
I know.
Like
Actual
it's like
combat.
actual like this is the Republic Commando is the first time an IED was even mentioned in Star
Yeah,
Wars.
I
It's
know,
like
right?
really
hmm
Star Wars, and that's the first time an improvised explosive device was ever
hmm
mentioned.
hmm
It's like, wouldn't you think that rebels would be popping them off all over the place or something?
Yeah, it's not just
It's
like
like,
this is a blaster gun, shoot it.
yeah,
This
and
is like
it's
a
like
DC-17 H repeater with a silencer type thing, you know, just
seriously, it's like they got like actual
hmm
military stuff, which it's
hmm
like it makes it more less like kiddie.
I know. They should
It's
have just
more
like
sci-fi action and not like
hmm
gung-ho adventure with a lightsaber.
hmm I know. They're just
Exactly.
like even if you just read the prologue to Hard Contact, that explains it so well. It just that's what hooked me on it when I read it in the bookstore. Yes, I went to a actual bookstore to read it, and
What? What?
I went to Barnes and Noble.
They still
That's
have those? I read about them in my history class.
they still have a few. Anyways, when I read
Like
about it,
one.
when I read it, that's what got me hooked, and that's why I bought it because that first prologue, you know, like move in, take, you know, like, and then there's like the way they talk, and they hardly have any descriptive action. It's just like the words they're saying. It's just like it's so well written,
Yeah.
and the story is good. It's solid, and the characters are solid. And if you're gonna hate on it, I don't see what you hate on it for, unless you're like a big fan of Jedi and you're like the Jedi should not be talked about in any downtone, which in that case makes you kind of
Well, it just makes you like naive
very
to
naive.
character thingies.
hmm
Like that's the one thing I don't like about Star Wars, is it's always trying to be good versus evil.
hmm
And you can't do that. That doesn't work.
hmm
There's no one there's no singularly good thing
hmm
ever. That's just not possible.
Jedi are not like the light side completely. I mean,
Well,
Yoda,
and the Sith aren't that
Even
bad
Yoda's
either.
corrupt.
Like, and also it can go with the Sith. Like, I mean, they like Palpatine did some bad things, but I'm sure he like every single thing he did wasn't bad. I'm like,
hmm
he didn't burn all his toast.
Yeah,
Like,
I
he,
know.
he did some things right,
hmm
probably.
Yeah,
So
probably
it's
a few
like, and
things. He
he
wasn't
always
always
has
pure evil.
cards. It's
hmm
like he always has something. Everybody always has something going for him and something against him. So it's like, I
hmm
don't like the I'm good, you're evil kind of
Yeah.
aspect of Star Wars. That's why I like these books, because it's these books take place in a gray area.
hmm
So it's like Scorch.
hmm
He fights for the Jedi, I guess, and he does good things. But like you said, he did that one thing. It's like everybody has a side.
Yeah.
Same with Cal Skirata. It's like that's what's good about these books.
hmm
And they also show the Jedi side too. I mean, they are you from their point of view they are good, but in these books they're not good. So it's
hmm
like it gives morality or
I
something in
completely agree with
Star
that
Wars. Gray areas.
101%.
110% you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
120%. Because that is
Oh,
like, that
okay, you're
describes it
getting
so well
closer.
because they're not like they're, sure, they're not perfect. Cal Sagrada will shoot a guy who might not actually been deserving of shoot, but he also has his morals, you know? There are bad things about them. There's good things about them. And
That's just everybody.
then, it's just in war, people are gonna get shot, okay?
Seriously.
So, in war, and especially in this time period, you cannot just go up to a random stranger and ask him for directions. Like, how do you get
Yeah.
to the top secret Imperial base? Right that way, sir. um,
Dun 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 dun.
but, like, it's just like, I agree with you, gray area is the best way to put it, because, especially in these books, like, there is no stun, really, that you can do.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the one thing I didn't like about the Clone Cadets episode. It's like Domino Squad is feeling like this.
There
There's no
is
way
no
they would be
mercy.
alive.
yeah,
Like Jango Fett was clear that if they failed, they're dead. They died.
yeah, yeah,
Because I mean, how would you have a successful army that fails consistently like that?
yeah. Uh-huh. I mean,
It's like they got to get used to it.
and,
Which
like, yeah, just the training, everything. It's cruel, and obviously the Kaminoans do not have much compassion for them because they are raising a slave army for credits.
that's just their job. They've done it before.
I know, but seriously, you don't have very much compassion if you're gonna do that. So, maybe I'm sure there were many good Kaminoans out there,
Yeah.
like who would take it and save a clone, that kind of thing. But there's also apparently the main ones were not that good.
I
I
think the what is his name? Lama Su.
Oh yeah, that's his name. I always thought he was a girl.
He probably wasn't compassionate because he's like the leader, but
hmm
I think Ton Wei was a little bit more compassionate. I know she acted as Boba Fett's mom, kind of, but
Yeah,
I'm sure like the Kaminoans who handled the young clones, like the toddlers, were a little bit more compassionate than the ones that
yeah,
handled the fully grown ones. That's
yeah.
just
hmm
that's just common sense. I mean, they, I don't think the toddlers were running
Well,
around shooting
at one
kids,
year
but
old, they were doing the training for Republic Commandos, anyways.
yeah, but not regular clones. I think regular clones were just doing flash training.
Yeah, but anyways, so I think we've gone a little bit overtime today. Woo.
But it's a rage
Woo!
episode, so we
Yeah, rage
can't.
episode, so we can. Yeah. All right.
Kinda, not
But we
kinda
did
rage.
scream.
Yeah. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everyone scream! Woo! Oh my gosh, that was scary. Seismic. You didn't scream.
No.
Alright, so that about ends our podcasting session for today. As always, I thank you all so much for watching, and don't forget to leave a freaking random comment in the comment section below. Please, we are begging you to ask us one question, please. I will mail you a
Nobody does
chocolate.
it.
I will mail you a chocolate cake if you want me to.
We won't. But please,
We are
please,
desperate.
we are
It can be anything
desperate.
from do you like Darth Maul to what is the secret to eternal youth. Alright, so
Well,
thanks for
first you have
watching.
to mix in some. Oh, we have to answer it later. Okay.
Alright, so thanks for watching and subscribe. What do you subscribe for, Seismic?
To
Awesome
join
videos like
the
this.
Imperial Army tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.
Yes,
Face
Commando
palm.
is
Face
forever
palm.
greatest book series of Star Wars, in my opinion. So.
I need backup!